What's up, everyone? Hope you're all having a good summer. I just want to do a special summer edition of Super HDJ Aqua Horror Blood Ocean Edition. We're going to talk about horror movies that are great for the summertime, the ocean, the beach, anything involved in that. One of the stipulations, though, we're not going to have Jaws. And the reason why we're not going to have Jaws is because, come on, we all seen that one. We all seen Jaws. We know how great Jaws is. So, we're going to step out of the box a little bit. The same old shark movie. Gotta move on. We gotta find some good blood ocean horror movies to fill in the gaps. Because we can't watch Jaws every single day. I know it's one of the best. But here's the top list of underrated ocean horror, aqua horror movies that you need to see. So to start things off with, we're going to start with a really cheesy movie shot in LA. It's called The Slithers. And the Slithers, it sounds like an STD, but it's this really cheesy boardwalk horror set off the beaches of LA. It's a really bad movie, but if you want some cheese with your horror, with a guy in a monster suit, check out the Slithers. Alright, moving on, so I don't have to say that anymore. Next up, we have The Bay. Now, what I really like about The Bay is it's another boardwalk horror that it's actually kind of rings true. It's about these parasites they're like these isopods that exist in water, but in the movie, they actually only prey off fish. But what they do with this movie is it's this next evolution of these isopods that eat people and they eat people's skin. And while it's a little bit of a twist of reality, it's a documentary style kind of spin on what seems plausible. And that came out in 2009, The Bay. It's a decent documentary style fake documentary. The Bay. It's okay. It's at number 9. So number 8, this one you gotta check out. It's on Netflix. It's called Sweetheart. I'm pretty sure I put this on my best horror movies, underrated horror movies on Netflix. It's called Sweetheart. Came out a couple years ago, like 2018. It's got the actress who plays Iris West in the current Flash movies. It's kind of like Castaway, where she's on a party boat, ship sinks, and ultimately she lands on an island. And as if that's not being marooned on an island isn't bad enough, there's a monster on the island, and that's when the story gets pretty good, because she's like surviving like Tom Hanks style, like in Castaway, but then she has to fight off this monster on the island. The next one we have is The Slayer. Now, The Slayer is not as much of a, it's got a pretty sweet name, named after one of the best heavy metal bands of all time, but this is more of a slow burn. Surprise, surprise, it's not like a total slash fest, but it is set on the beach, like it's got the whole, like, Cape Cod feel to it on the beach, but the beach house is haunted. It's a supernatural slasher. It's a slow burning, atmospheric horror movie like that. And I think if you watch it like that and not like a total gore fest, it does have some pretty good scary moments to it. Definitely check out The Slayer. It's on Tubi right now, so it's for free. Next up, we have Anthropophagus, or AKA The Grim Reaper. It's a Jesus Franco Italian horror movie. It's really horrific. Total exploitation. Beach house, sort of like it's really like sleaze fest. It's just like splatter Italian, typical Italian type of like sleaze. It's NC-17, so I wouldn't recommend it to everyone. It's pretty bad, but I just think it does capture that sort of Mediterranean sort of beach feel, and for that, like it's for all the grossness of Anthropophagus. I think it kind of coincides with some of these atmospheric feats that you don't find in other like horror movies. And it definitely Fall Break, aka the Mutilator, uh, typical '80s splatterfest set on a beach house. Um, it feels very Friday the 13th though. It feels like Friday the 13th set in a beach house, and just for that alone, I think it's pretty awesome. Uh, 4 is an Aussie horror movie. Kind of has that like ghost ship feel to it. It's got Melissa George. I always like her stuff. 30 Days a Night. She's great. The Triangle. Um, Party boat gets capsized. Her friends go on a ghost ship, but there's like this haystack killer, and there's like not to like spoil anything, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's like this really deep spin to it, where there's like a time, like a Groundhog Day type of time flip to it, where the things keep happening over and over. That's just she's like cursed on his ship, on a ghost ship that's going nowhere with no one on it, with no one to save them, with her friends, and it's like a slasher. If a slasher wasn't in the Twilight Zone, 3. This is actually a popular movie. It's more of like a B tier, like under RoboCop, under some of the better ones, Leviathan. Now the thing with Leviathan, a lot of people seen this. It's like after everyone talks about aliens, after everyone talks about Predator, you get to like that next tier, and there's Leviathan with Peter Weller. It's set underwater. It's kind of like Abyss with the Thing. It's pretty awesome. You know, it's good. It's got Richard Crenna from Rambo. It's got the guy from the robber guy. I forget his name. It was Stern from the Home Alone movies. He plays like the pervy guy. It's got a good cast. It's got a good 1989. Peter Weller, RoboCop, Leviathan. Very underrated, but people know. 2, the Roger Corman classic, Humanoid from the Deep. I always keep seeing Humanoids of the Deep. I think that sounds a little bit cooler. But Humanoids from the Deep it's like a ripoff of Jaws, but with these swamp creatures from the deep, these seaweed creatures, the seaweed creatures that prey on women on the beach. I mean, that's just freaking awesome. So that's why it's at number 2, because it's such a cheesy, great, like when people say cheesy, awesome 80s Jaws ripoff, Humanoids from the Deep is up there, and it's a must see. Roger Corman, one of his most underrated, but needs to be seen more. They don't even call it a Jaws clone. It's like Jaws' cousin, Orca. Now Orca is so good because I just remember the movie ends. It starts at like one of those like Cape May, Cape Cod, like off the shore beaches, but somehow it ends in Antarctica. It's just so freaking funny. But I just remember like one of the things that creeped me out as a kid. The reason why you kind of root for Orca this instead of like Jaws, like where you want the whale to win, because it's kind of like this eco horror movie where you have these fishers pick up the orca, and she gets birth on the ship, and they kick the baby off and it dies. And so you're right there. You're like, come on, get these fucking fisher people, and you kind of root for Orca. So I always like that movie. Anytime it's on, it's not like a good like afternoon. Like you want to like be ready for it because it's kind of boring. But overall the story. It's one of the better aqua horrors. It's better than Jaws 5 at least. So you can't go wrong with Orca if you're burnt out on Jaws and you're burnt out on Shark. So if I missed out on any aqua horrors, Maybe I'll do a part 2 before the summer ends. But right now, check these out because you're gonna be like you watch these horror movies, you're gonna be feeling like you're on the beach. Have a good summer. Peace out.